Peace and blessings, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Green Life Garden and Home DIY channel. So today I have been asked to put out a video for making masks. I know there are a ton of videos out there already, but hey, what's one more gonna hurt? Just want to say right quickly, these masks are not medical grade masks. They're made out of material of different sorts. They do have pockets that would allow you to put the filter you best feel is going to work for you. So keep in mind that, and just a moment of silence for those who have lost their lives. Please keep in mind that some of these people had on medical grade masks as well. So please be careful about mask shaming, is what I call it. People that may not have on the medical grade mask. I think at this point, we're just trying to make sure that we have some type of protection. And there are some places you cannot go inside, businesses, different states, areas, without having on some sort of a face covering. So let's go ahead and jump into this and get started. Okay, so the first thing you want to start with is your material. Now, if you have a ruler or a measuring stick of any sort, you want to measure out 9 inches, which is going to be from ear to ear, and then 15 inches, which is going to be this way. That's going to allow you to put the pleats in it that are going to open up as like an accordion as you place the mask on your face. All right, so the first thing you're doing is cutting a 9 by 15 piece of fabric for an adult size mask. All right, I've chosen to use this piece of material. Again, these are very fine pieces of material, or this one in particular. If you use a piece of material that is way too thick, you're going to probably run into some issues unless you have an industrial sewing machine. All right, so let me get this cut and we'll be right back. Okay, so I've got my piece of material cut, 9 inches this way, 15 inches up and down, because again, this is what's going to form the pleats. Be sure if you have patterns that, say for instance, if you had hearts that you wanted to go up and down, that you would place those hearts, that you would turn the material in the direction for those hearts or those designs to go the way that you want them to go. All right, so the next thing we want to do is go ahead and we're going to hem across the 9-inch side, a 1/4 inch fold, and another 1/4 inch fold, and you can iron that down. And you're going to do the same thing, 1/4 inch fold, 1/4 inch fold on the other side. Iron that down, and then we're going to come back to the sewing machine and go ahead and get that sewed up. Okay, so we've got the hems all ironed and pressed out, and we're going to go ahead and sew those down. I'm going to do a back stitch. Go ahead and cut that. I'm going to sew down the other side. Back stitch. This is not an all-day project. It's quick, it's easy, and is fun. Okay, so once you get that sewn into place, all right, the next thing that you're going to do, make sure that your fabric is turned with the wrong side showing. Once you get it hemmed up, and you're just going to simply fold it right there, just like that. All right, so the next thing is we want to put our elastic in the sides of the fabric and sew it down. So let me get that and we'll be right back. Okay, so we are about to put our elastic in. What you want to do is you don't want to stretch it when you measure it. You want to just simply measure it. I do about 7 inches for an adult. And if you feel like you need to do more, go ahead, because for some people, you know, it may be that that's not enough, and it could be pulling the ears forward and just become very uncomfortable, especially for people that has to have these masks on for a long period of time. All right, so we got our elastic cut, 2 pieces, and what I'm going to do is move my measuring device, put it over there. Is place, open that up. You want to lay this completely down inside of there. Now you could take and crease this as well to make sure you're putting it in the right place, but you're going to lay that down inside. You can have a little piece showing if you want, and pin it. Okay, you could pin it, or you could not pin it. Normally I take and go ahead and secure all of my sides. All right, like that. And then I normally do one side at a time, so I'm going to stick with that. And so I've got one piece of the rubber, the elastic there. All right, so we're going to go ahead, put that foot down. Make sure that you're sewing with probably about a 1/4 inch seam here. Go ahead and you can slide this out if you want. I do, just to get it out the way. And I'm going to sew up to that hem that I made, and then I'm going to stop, and I'm going to adjust the elastic to fit to the other side. All right, once I get there, I go ahead and I remove my pin. I go inside, I find my elastic, and I bring it over. I place it down. I'm very careful not to sew over it up in here, so I've got my fingers where I could feel it and know where it's at all times, because you could fix it, but that's the worst thing about sewing, when you have to go back and use a seam ripper to correct the mistake. So once you do that, you keep sewing. Always back stitch for added security. Okay. So I've got that side done. I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to do the other. Okay, so once that is done, I try to cut all my threads. And by the way, if you have fabric that fray real bad like this, pinking shears usually help with that. But listen, nobody's trying to go out and buy all of that, and unless you're a person that tend to sew a lot. You go in, you are flipping it out, and you want to try to push those corners out. Some people trim up in here, but I'm careful with that because you may cut your elastic. Okay, so now we have a square pretty much. You have your elastic on each side. Okay, so the next thing that you're going to do is go ahead and pleat your fabric. I just kind of do this. I just wing it. You could do 2 good pleats if you wanted to, like that, or you could do 3. If your material is thick, you probably would have to do 3, at least 4, because you're going to be trying to sew over these humps. So once you put this in, and once you fold it, you're going to put your pin on each side to hold it in place. Some people use what is it, those little clips. They almost look like little clothespins or something. Use what you got. It's gonna look like this. Okay, and you could always iron these into place before you sew it. This is just what I do. All right, and I'm going to show you how to sew those. So we've got our pleats in place. Okay, make sure again, if you have fabrics with print, that normally I pull this way, the pleats are down. Make sure that when you fold this into place, your designs are going in the direction that you intended. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, make sure that this elastic is over here, because it's times that I've caught it and I had to go back and unloose it, and start sewing. Back stitch. You can go ahead and slide your pin out. Slide the pin out, and you can sew over those too. I just hate ruining my pins doing that sometimes. Get to the end, you're gonna back stitch, cut it. Oops, don't cut your fabric. All right, and we're gonna go the other way, and notice this time you're gonna be coming against the pleats, not going with it. So be careful that you don't cause your material to get all botched up. Make sure this elastic is on the side. Okay, so we've gotten that sewed down. You can go back and sew over that again for added protection, durability, and maybe a longer lasting use. I tend to do that. And you've got your mask. Okay, so the only thing you're going to do now is go in the back here, put in a filter of some sort. Now, at this point, you can add a piece of wire, which is I usually put a piece across the top, or you could just leave it like it is. But just so you'll know how to do it, I'll go ahead and show you how to do that as well. Okay, so you can find these little pipe cleaners, I call it, at the Dollar Tree. And what you want to do is cut a piece probably about 3 inches. All right, they're really easy to cut with your scissors. And I take this in and I bend it. I take this in and I bend it to make sure that it does not stick out and poke the wearer. All right, so up here, this first pleat, that's where you want that piece of wire to go. All right, so I'm going to go inside, open that up, and make sure that it's up there in that first pleat area. Okay, put a pin here so you will know where to stop, and so you'll know where to stop and be able to make your turn. All right, here we go. So you're gonna start here, and you're probably gonna come in about 1/4 of an inch, and back stitch, and then you're gonna come back, and you're gonna put that needle down in there and pick that foot up and turn. lift it again and turn. So we have our piece of wire there that you could bend to shape the nose, and you could go ahead and iron it to flatten it out. And yeah, that's it. This is it. So I'm gonna go ahead and iron it and just show you the final product. All right, so this is it, you guys. That's all it is to it. We've got our mask with our little wire piece that would fit over the nose, the bridge of the nose, to hold it in place for a better fit. Again, there's your filter pocket. A lot of people are running into the problem of not being able to find material because a lot of people are making masks right now, and I am encouraging everybody to get out there and make some masks. Hence the reason that I've even took time out to make this video. One of the things you could do is use curtains. You know, if these are your personal masks that you're using at home, use old material. It's probably a ton of stuff in your closet that you're not even thinking about right now. So, but if you're making them for the public, make sure that you are using safety sanitary measures. So these will go on. Over. You could adjust it to fit. Put that on good. Now you got yourself a mask. All right. So some of the things you could use for a filter. Some people are using coffee filters. Some people are using vacuum bag filters. Some people are using air filters. Just do what you got to do to try to stay as safe as you possibly can. All right. Sending positive vibes from Green Life Garden at Home DIY channel. I hope that you're having a peaceful day on today. If you're breathing, you're blessed. All right. Until next time, we love you. Bye.